How's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi channel. We are here for the first matchup we are covering of the Super Rugby 2023 season. Although this one, it is pre-season, the games that we get to see just beforehand to see exactly how these two sides stack up. Also, just to see a whole heap of depth that we wouldn't normally get to see throughout the season. This game taking place in Oamaru, just down the road from myself, but it is going to be a very entertaining one. Both sides going with very different first and second half sides that we will be looking through right now. But looking through at the Crusaders, their starting lineup for the first half will be as follows. It will be Joe Moody, Brodie McAllister, Tamaiti Williams, Jamie Hanna, and Quinton Strange going to be locking up for this matchup. Dom Gardner, Corey Keller, and Christian Leo Willie there at number 8. Then Willie Hines will be at 9. Exciting to see him in the Crusaders kit. Fergus Burke at 10. Macca Springer, Dallas McLeod, Jack Goodhue back in the midfield. Pipisana Patafilo, and then Che Fiaki there as a last man in that starting lineup. Then looking through quickly at the Highlanders, they will be as follows: Aidan Johnson, Andrew Makaleo, and Ma'u make up the front row. Tucker and Burkius. I'm excited to see Burkius in action. He seemed, from what I saw in I've forgotten the name of it for a second there, but I keep on wanting to call it the Mitre 10 Cup, but it's the Bunnings NBC. He looked decent in that competition. Max Hicks at number 6, James Lynchus then brought in at 8, Hauiti Parapara. That will be a name that gets a little bit harder to say than just Aaron Smith. Miller at 10, Mosisi Dawai, Scott Gregory, Titamaki, also Bogado out on the other wing, and then Hurley there at number 15. We have got there, and the Jamaica versus Chiefs game is currently showing live on Facebook. It is indeed. How are you watching this? It is on the Highlanders Facebook page that you can watch this game. So I do recommend to anyone wanting to watch this matchup, just go straight on the Highlanders Facebook and you'll be able to see a link of being able to watch it. And hi, says Amelia, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. And nice new lineup at Bunnings NBC. There's a Brandon there. But the Crusaders, they are going to be wearing their white kit for this matchup compared to the Highlanders, who will be in their classic kind of dark navy-ish and things. Says Joseph, no worries at all. Yeah, it's quite a hard one to find because the Blues Hurricanes game tomorrow is going to be on YouTube. The Moana Pacifica versus Chiefs game that is currently taking place on YouTube. But this one was a little bit harder to find, not on Sky Sports, exactly right. So I checked Sky Sport, checked Spark Sport, checked pretty much any option that we could find. But yeah, the Facebook page is the way to go for this matchup. And yeah, footy's back, says Nazi Williams. It is indeed in this game. I can hear the bagpipes at the moment in Oamaru. It's actually quite a good turnout for this matchup, which is great to see. I know that they were charging $30 a head to get into the ground. I was very tempted to go to the matchup, but in the end, we did end up staying home, and it is going to be hopefully an exciting game. And also, Chiefs is up 33-0. Yeah, Moana Pacifica, they look good at the start of that match, but unfortunately, just momentum-wise, just never quite got back into it once they did concede that first try, because it took the Chiefs about 15 minutes to get over the line for the first time. But it is now going to be, I believe it's Miller to kick off this one for the Highlanders. Now, there will be quite a few new names in here, so I might take a little bit to start catching on to some of them, but we will try our absolute best. Also got a different scoreboard than we normally have. That is due to this being a preseason game and not really anyone having a scoreboard, but it is just kicked off by the Highlanders. Hopefully the scoreboard's going to be working to our side. There we go. It's ticking over. The Crusaders take it just outside of their 22. You can straight away see the big man, Tamaiti Williams, there joining the breakdown. But Willie Hines kicks it downfield for the Crusaders. So I guess just next to the touchline. Well taken, though, by Hurley, number 15, for the Highlanders. Now, I should mention the Highlanders, they seem like they've gone with more of a stronger side for the second half rather than the first. We do see a lot more of those familiar faces, such as Scott Gregory, Mitch Hunt. Well, Scott Gregory's actually out there at the moment, but Sam Gilbert also out there for the second half. And the much-anticipated debut of Jonah Lowe will also be taking place. But early penalty goes the way of the Highlanders. 50 seconds in. And they will now be kicking this one down towards the touchline. 2 games of the NRL on tonight. That is very true. And also the Australia versus India test match going to be continuing on. Getting ready for my final trip to fandom, fingers crossed. I don't have a repeater Tuesday, says Amelia. Yeah, fingers crossed for you. 25 metres out. Highlanders with Andrew Makaleo. It looks like they've lost the balls. If they got one, no. Did we only bring one ball to this game and someone's run away with it? So now they've got to try and find one. Where is it? There it is. It's the ball that was originally kicked into touch. Surely they brought more than one match ball. If they didn't, then that's brave because there's a lot of people there. Someone will be like, oh, match ball, that'll do. It's me Christmas present. Thrown along from Andrew Makaleo, but stolen there nicely by Quinton Strange. The Crusaders now have this ball back. Patafilo just drops to a knee. Now, it's interesting that the Crusaders continuously do sign strong wingers, but the problem is trying to play them all because when they've got Sever Reese out there, when they have George Bridge as another option, although he might have gone overseas, George Bridge, if I'm not wrong. They did have Kenny Naholo for the whole of last year. I think we saw him play once, which I feel was a massive waste for the Crusaders. Highlanders home game in Dunedin is a doubleheader on the 25th. Says Shane there, and whose commentary says striking for this one. I'm not actually sure who the commentator is on Facebook for it. And how is he watching? It is on Facebook, the Highlanders Facebook page. Your best option to be able to watch this game, and it's completely for free as well. I'm watching it alongside 960 other people I do see they have got watching at the moment. Now going short side. Off to Scott Gregory. Tried to kick it in behind, but it's partially charged down already. An advantage for the Highlanders, so they'll be going back for another penalty there. It's about 44 out. They've got a couple guys with some decent boots. But I don't know whether they'll try it here. Instead, maybe go for the corner, the better option. One of my friends agreed to wait for me at the halfway point. So he would get on a tram with me, and I have to do the first half of the trip on my own. I have to tell my friend which tram I'm on. And still a possibility you're doing the Indigenous League. Depends. Nazi, unfortunately, I thought it was the 7:30 p.m. kickoff or somewhere around there. It's actually 5:45. So depending on how quickly our cricket game goes, we may squeeze it in. I'm still going to make the thumbnail and everything, not schedule it though, just because I don't want to have to unschedule it. And I might not be able to if I'm out on the pitch. But yeah, if the cricket game ends early, we'll do that game. If it doesn't, we'll probably have to miss it, sadly. But we will be watching the highlights of it and also probably watching a full replay. 3.5 minutes in, the Highlanders got a rolling more defence so far from the Crusaders, forcing them back about 5 metres. But now slowly starting to get that momentum back in their favour. Andrew Makaleo to Gregory, who was waiting for it in the first receiver role. Always going to run the ball hard at the line. Gregory doesn't really do things by halves. He's either absolutely throwing himself at it or he's not in the action. Nice run forward that time. I believe that would have been from, I want to say, it was Max Hicks. Some of these faces, I need to get them back in the brain. And who you think a team to watch the Super Rugby Pacific? It's always, unfortunately, it is always the Crusaders. That is just really the case. Why is my scoreboard going so slow compared to theirs? It has a few times where it's frozen, hasn't it? Because they're up to 4 minutes. We're only up to 3 minutes. I just realized that it is going relatively slow. But yeah, I would say Crusaders, of course. But Blues are probably a side that everyone always likes to say are going to have a decent season. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Hurricanes do as well. Just because I feel like they're a side that a lot of people don't think about when it comes to those top contenders. But they've got a strong side. If they can get it right, they could actually be quite a dangerous one in this competition. Brady McAllister now to throw the ball in for the Crusaders. You see, we've been on 3:05 for a very long time on the scoreboard. It is not supposed to have stopped, but it has. Now kicked him behind. Parapara thought it was worth a crack. Didn't quite get it right, though. What scoreboard is it? I can link to at scoreboard, says Brandon. It's just to create your own scoreboard one. I'm still going into the season with the same thing. Don't care if the Rebels lose. I just can't go down without a fight. True. As long as we see like every side in Super Rugby, that's the thing. A lot of them play with that fast-paced intensity, which always tests out your lungs. Definitely in preseason, we're already seeing some players taking some big, deep breaths. Training is one thing, but being out on the field, taking contact continuously does get a little bit tricky. A final season for Aaron Smith and Bowden Barrett, and also a lot of other players. Richie Moonga, final season for him in Super Rugby. Alongside him, who else have we got who's going overseas? A lot of players have actually already made that trip overseas, which is fair enough. They thought, well, might as well get the money while it's hot. It's been 3:06 on the scoreboard for a very long time, hasn't it? We'll see whether or not we can fix that. We'll just skip forward a couple minutes. The benefit of having a scoreboard that you can update. There we go. Now 6 minutes through. Perfect. And Aaron Smith. Yep, Aaron Smith is another one who is going to be leaving New Zealand Rugby. We've got a few other players considering either France or Japan. Already we saw Bryn Hall last year from the Crusaders go away. They've still got plenty of options, though, as that halfback role, whether it's Willie Hines, whether it is going to be Te Tara Tahuriarangi. Also, Mitch Drummond still there. The scoreboard doesn't want to cooperate, says Amelia. Yeah. Although throughout the season, I will mention the scoreboard will be a lot better. And Chiefs winning against Moana Pacifica, says no mum. Yeah, they're looking strong at the moment, the Chiefs. Up against the Moana Pacifica side that I think have potential, but it always takes them a few games to start to find that chemistry that they need. Now, the Highlanders got themselves the scrum here about 15 metres out from the Crusaders line. It's the time where you can use some certain set plays and whatnot. They've got Te Tamaki in the midfield alongside Scott Gregory. We will get to see Umanga Jensen, one of the standouts for the Highlanders last year. He will be playing in the second half of this fixture. Both sides also have a few options when it comes to the bench. Going off the short side now. Big push off from Broughton. Was dragged down 5 out from the line. Max Hicks decides to go with the pick. It's around the side. Para again. Is it the Andrew Makaleo? Recycling it quickly. Scott Gregory tries to kick him behind. Luckily for him, it's set up, because or else then that was just going to be given the possession back to the Crusaders. Now another big run from Ma'u. Miller goes to Makaleo. Joe Moody on the ball. I think he lost his footing though, so they will end up giving away that penalty advantage. Rush defense. Nice work from the Crusaders, and they will be going back for the penalty and Arbro scoreboard. I like, nah, man, I'm out. CSB simulator. Let's go. The Highlanders beat these Crusaders. Brady Retallick. And there's Peter Gus, Brad Weber, Richie Moonga, Shannon Frizzell, Bowden Barrett, Retallick, Sam Whitelock might retire. The big question is, after this season, are we still going to get to see that pace of here? I'm thinking about just chopping it off with some scissors. It is one of the most annoying pieces, just like sitting here, but it wants to be back over the backside. Sam Kane, is he going to retire this year from internationals? Or the other thing is, I think even if he retires from internationals, he's still probably going to play provincial rugby in the Bunnings NPC for Bay of Plenty, maybe for a year or two more. Just because he seems to love his rugby. It's just those injuries that keep on going for Sam Kane currently. Rolling maul again attempted from the from the Highlanders. It's like it's going to be turning around awkwardly, which means a lot of the Crusaders have to disengage, try and drive back in. Makaleo, he's still got it though. A very patient one here for the Highlanders as they continue to try and march, but that time it's been taken down. Brilliant rolling maul defense from the Saders there. Now, Hauiti Parapara. It's interesting. They've actually got Hauiti Parapara, and then they have got, what's his face? I can't think of his first name, but it is Parapara as one of the, or Paripari Parkinson, I should say, they've also got. So quite a few pieces. And there the penalty goes the way of the Crusaders. That will annoy the Highlanders a little bit. They were close to the line, just not quite able to get over it. I really, damn it, says John. And I am, let's go Chiefs, says John. And no 100 scoreboard, and I can't find it. And I get links, please, says Brandon. Bro Retallick is going back to Japan. Oh, big shot into the touch again for the Highlanders. And the Crusaders now will find themselves with, I believe it's actually going to be their first line out of the day. Almost Brody McAllister will be able to throw this one in for the Crusaders. They found themselves trapped inside of their own half, though. But the big benefit here for them is they haven't conceded yet. And that is always something the Crusaders pride themselves on, their defense, not allowing other sides to break through, get those early points on the board. Currently 10 minutes through. Scoreboard says 9, but it's 10.5. It just seems to forget how to count sometimes, unfortunately. Our scoreboard, oh, that was a short ball. Not quite finding their hands. Otago, they're going to have themselves the scrum feed now just outside of the Crusaders 22. Lacking chemistry at the moment, the Crusaders. That could be because of so many changes. Macca Springer out on the wing, I think, is another exciting prospect for them this year. Seeing him play throughout the Bunnings EBC for Tasman, he was always that quick step-in winger that can cause problems. But Crusaders, once again, very deep when it comes to their squad depth. Do you think Aaron Cruden will come back to the Chiefs? I did actually see exciting signing for the Highlanders. They've signed Freddie Burns from the Leicester Tigers. So, I mean, we might see a few fly halves making the return. I don't think Aaron Cruden will go back to the Chiefs. I think at the moment, the Chiefs are looking at what their future plans are, and that's probably involving a younger player. So they've currently got Bryn Gatlin. Damian McKenzie might play a little bit of 10 throughout the season, but yeah, I think the next guy in line is probably one of those real young guys, either playing for Waikato or maybe somewhere around that region. Of course, they can't go Lincoln McClutchy because Moana Pacifica were able to sign him up. Now going off to the short side. Once again, the Highlanders looking for phase after phase, but nice work in the breakdown from Corey Callow to almost get the turnover now. Goes off to Miller. Just taking their time. At the moment, the Highlanders, Max Hicks makes a few extra meters. He looks very similar to Manakai Selby Rickett in terms of the frame and everything. That's going to go just... Oh, it didn't go into the in-goal area. And because of it, Crusaders have had to just run that one into touch, 5 meters out. The Highlanders once again will have themselves another line out. This will be about the 4th time that we have seen the Highlanders having a crack early on in this contest from the line out rolling maul. It's about time that they do find themselves some success from one. And normally they did have Ash Dixon. That was pretty much the staple they'd used for many years. Ash Dixon rolling maul. Didn't get much better than that in the Southern Hemisphere. That's going to be knocked backwards from the Crusaders after the Highlanders do throw it loose. Willie Hines now looking back into his pocket. Instead goes to Christie first to try and make a couple more meters, create more angle for the youngster Fergus Burke. In fact, Willie Hines looks like he might consider the box kick himself. In fact, he does. Backs his distance, and tell you what, he's got some good distance on that one. Willie Hines, but it's taken nicely now from... Oh, that was almost a tip tackle, but a nice run from Bogado, a new name for the Highlanders this year. And we will see quite a bit of that for quite a few of the teams throughout preseason. Quite a few new names that we've hardly heard of throughout Super Rugby. It's kicked downfield, now out on the full from Shafia. He got that one wrong. On himself out on that right wing side, whereabouts Patafilo would have normally been. Oh. Okay, we've actually gone right back for an advantage that was about 7 minutes ago. Not quite 7, but at least 2 minutes ago when the advantage came. So what is this one for? Is this for a knock-on? I think it is. Yeah, we went back about half the length of the field for a knock-on. Good. On both sides. I mean, they won't mind at the forward backs, just getting a little bit more time testing out what they can do in these scrums. I mean, the Crusaders front row, though, Joe Moody, Brody McAllister, Tamaiti Williams, that will be the row that they go with quite a few times throughout the season. Of course, you're going to throw in Cody Taylor in there as another big option. Also, Finley Brewis, another guy who might get in there a little bit more. But pretty much stock standard for the Crusaders. Down the wing now, Macca Springer goes for the chip and chase. It's going to stay in the field of play this time. Awkward bounce. Springer waits for it to sit up. Instead, it actually sits up for his teammate, number 6, Dom Gardner. Now Willie Hines. One more on the outside. Here comes Jack Goodhue, first carry of the match. Shea Fiaki, one more pass. One on the outside. And Pipisana Patafilo will score the first try of the match for the Crusaders. Almost going the full length of the field. The kick in behind from Macca Springer. The bounce was not favourable for the Highlanders, and then just backline looking sharp as always for the away side. And just ended up going with about a 6-pass play. Dallas McLeod on the inside. Then to Goodhue, one more. Che Fiaki. Quick hands actually from the big man, Jamie Hanna at 4. And then Pipisana Patafilo does score the try. I've just realised I'm in charge of the scoreboard, so I have to update this now, don't I? Say it's 5 points. We had a couple minutes again because they're falling behind by a lot. There we go. We'll go a little bit further ahead because we know that it's going to slow down eventually. I think it's the best way of doing it. And g'day, Amish. I hope you're well, mate. I am indeed, mate. Thank you very much for for being here for this live stream. First preseason game that we are covering. Hopefully we've got a few more in the future as well. And Chad has said good evening. Welcome in. This game, it looks like a decent turnout in Oamaru for this matchup. Tough kick for Dallas McLeod. In fact, sorry, it's Fergus. Berg keeps it low, just away to the right-hand side, and the score will remain. I said that the scoreboard's already starting to fall behind again. It's a solid one. G'day, Chad. How's it, buddy? Here's Dale the mod. Like they've just said, the Highlanders, they will not be happy because they had all the attack. This part of here is my new enemy. There we go. Keep it up there. Somewhere with the rest of it. And where's Oamaru? Says Nazi Williams. Pretty much it is 2 hours about 2 hours or so north of Dunedin. 3 and a bit hours south of Christchurch. So it's spelled Oamaru. So, yeah, 30 minutes south from where I am, in fact. We were heavily considering going to this game. They did have walk-ins that it was $30. Go in and have a look. But from looking up the ground where it was, I didn't actually realize there was an embankment. I thought it was pretty flat where they were going to be playing. So we thought if you're not there early, you're probably going to miss out on a good seat. And a tall fella's going to stand in front of you, probably a lot. And good afternoon, Hamish. Hope you're all well. Time for Super Rugby. When do the Hurricanes have their first preseason? So they will be playing tomorrow at 2 p.m. And that game will be live on the Hurricanes the Hurricanes YouTube channel. It's where you can catch that one. The second bleed is on my birthday. Says Amelia. Good evening, Hamish. Says Kurt. Welcome in, mate. Willie Hines now going off to Patafilo. First receiver again. Already scored himself 1 try in this matchup. Crusaders looking solid early, though, on attack. They've only had 1 so far, but now this is their second. Dallas McLeod, nice step. Taken down. I believe that would have been James Lynch's, I think, the captain of the Highlanders. Or at least the captain for the first half. Mitch Hunt takes over for the second now. Kicked him high from Fergus. Burke waiting for the bounce. Once again, it's not favourable in a well. It's a big shot. It's going to be the penalty for pushing the player into his own guy. Hurley's not a large individual, but he's playing fullback for this matchup. He's actually been cleaned up by Haueti Parapara, who is bigger than him, and he's the halfback. And any channels in Australia broadcasting this, guys? Yes. Highlanders Facebook page. Mr. Lachlan, you'll be able to watch it if you've got Facebook, that is. If you don't have Facebook, I don't believe there are any other options. But yeah, Highlanders Facebook page. In fact, can we get away with this? Maybe. Hang on. We'll go like this. If you've got your Facebook already loaded, that is the link that I'm watching through anyway. Hopefully, it does work for you guys who do want to be able to watch this game live, either by itself or alongside Kiwi Lads commentary. Andrew Makalera throws the ball in, nicely taken there on the halfway line. Scott Gregory now short ball. Taken by James Lynch's. Now, again, the Highlanders find themselves on attack, and shucks. Do other cities actually exist outside of Auckland? Go figure, says Nazi Williams. Yeah, I mean, it's not quite as impressive as Auckland, although you get a lot more space. It's one good thing about the small towns is you get like a backyard. It's actually like a decent size. Kia ora, David, says Nazi Williams. And thanks, man, says the Mr. Lachlan. No worries, mate. But yeah, you'll be able to watch that game. If you want to watch Moana Pacifica versus Chiefs, the replay of that one, that will be on Moana Pacifica's YouTube channel. And then Hurricanes versus Blues tomorrow is on the Hurricanes YouTube channel. So we'll try and keep you guys updated with where you can watch all the Super Rugby preseason games. I'll be honest, I'll probably end up watching these games about 5 times before we get into the Super Rugby season, just so that I can scout out who I'm supposed to be naming at what time, learning all the names again. Nice run there. It looked like Chaifiaki as first receiver. Now Hines with the short ball again. Crusaders find themselves 25 out. Hines to Burke. Dallas McLeod tries to grubber him behind, and it's going to be in some space. Nicely picked up, though, from the youngster Hurley. In fact, it looks like we're going back for another penalty. This time it's actually against the Crusaders. No, it's against the Highlanders. Taken right back. These are long advantages. Mona, hey, Hamish, hope you're well. Long time no see, bro. Cheers on Marco. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well, Johnny. Super Rugby. Just around the corner. Your Chiefs getting themselves a good win. To whip out the Chiefs kit again. for the Super Rugby season, won't I? And hello, Kiwi lads and rugby fans. Crusaders always been my favourite New Zealand team. Go Crusaders, says Ruth. I guess the benefit of liking the Crusaders is you must get to see quite a few wins along the way. Oh, drinks break, 20 minutes in, water bottles out. Haven't seen anyone that I know yet in the stands, but we haven't really seen any shots of the stands in Oamaru. And by stands, I mean grass that they're standing on behind a railing. And Vanapola, brother, says David. So I should mention at this stage, it's looking good for the game of cricket tomorrow. I've got everything charging up. The GoPro batteries, in fact, that one's full. So I'll quickly reach over here, unplug that. So I got my stack of batteries all ready to go. Wow, that's blurry. Got about, I think, 6 of these. Something along those lines. Go Crusaders, go undefeated this year. What's happening with the AB's coaching job? Is it going to be Razor or no? At this stage, Fozzie's got it till the World Cup. And then after that, they might make a decision. But a lot of people keep saying straight after, we're going to see a new coach. But I wonder if Ian Foster wins the World Cup. It's a long shot, of course. But if he wins it, then what happens? Do they sack a World Cup winning coach? Because other teams will be keen for that. And a lot of All Black supporters would probably say, yeah, you can have him. And I've been peer pressured into supporting the Crusaders as a diehard South African and the Sharks fan. It hurts, says Chad there. They're a feisty side, the Crusaders, at times. They always, the good news is if you enjoy decent defense, you're going to like watching the Crusaders because they're normally pretty strong just out from their line, which can be quite entertaining. Roger, and can I offer you live stream marriage? At this stage, we don't really need any extra moderators. We've got plenty for the amount that we normally have watching, but as soon as we do end up getting more moderators, it will be the ones who are regulars on the channel that we do look to. And I was early in Cape Town, 6:52 p.m. or a.m. Sorry, just got a day off. Enjoying your fantastic commentary. Good you. Straight away after the drinks break, Crusaders have gone, we'll just get another one. We might as well. Started slowly for the first 20 minutes. And now Jack Goodhue gets himself the try. And Crusaders have so much talent. It's mind-blowing. Ireland versus France. What a game this weekend. Woohoo. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And we will be covering that one early. Nathaniel said, live stream, please. This is your link, Nathaniel. Normally, that's the thing. We don't normally have an option of a free live stream to be able to watch. But this game, we actually have one. It's on Facebook. You can watch this game live and in full. I feel like today, when people ask for the link, I'm actually happy because I can supply it. Normally, I'm sad because I'm like, sorry, we don't have it. We can't show any match footage. Live stream, says Nathaniel. That one, just there. Nathaniel, just above you. At all the Ireland versus France, who do you got? Says Ed Vogel. I mean, Ireland at home is going to be hard to beat. And Razor coaching Fiji. There are rumours that he's looking at going to another team, Razor, which, to be honest, is fair enough because at the end of the day, if he's not getting the coaching job that he actually wants, which I believe deep down is that All Blacks one, it's a tricky one, isn't it? And also we got the commentary better, bro. Says Nuzzy Williams and South Africa asked Jake White after 2007. Now Crusaders inside of their 22. I will say Ireland will win that one, hands off Fiji. Get your own coach, please, says Marco. Another nice bit of work. Jack Goodhue in space. He looks like he's increased his speed since his last injury, but now Dallas McLeod, he's got the man on his outside. Never looked to him, though. And the Highlanders, number 15, has got the clean turnover. Very nicely done. Ball knocked back. Miller picks it up. Now it looks like they're going to be slinging it wide. In fact, it's going to be Mosisi Dawai who gets it off the left boot. Kicks it way downfield. Almost a 50-22 kick. Inside of his 22 now, Fergus Burke fires it across to Che Fiaki and doesn't find touch. The play will continue. Now, nice step again from the Highlanders, but it was great work up until Dallas McLeod got greedy and didn't pass it either inside to Che Fiaki or outside to his other option, which would have been Macca Springer. Even Nick Mallet, who good for New Zealand job, he's a Springbok legend. And also we have got the yes, says Mr. Lachlan. And who's favourites on winning on bet for India versus Australia cricket? Hamish, India definitely favourites at the moment. Very heavy favourites, in fact. It's going to be kicked into touch. Well, quickly, while we've got the changes happening, for these two sides. India are 117 for 1. At the moment, where can I watch the game? You can watch it on Facebook, on the Highlanders Facebook page. There is the link to be able to watch it, Noah. But the whole Super Rugby season will not be on Facebook being shown. That will be either Sky, KO, or any of those options. But also, if you want to watch other games of the Super Rugby Pacific season, beautiful inside ball from Mosisi Dawai straight to Scott Gregory. And they've actually just scored there, the Highlanders. As we were explaining where to watch this. So if you're quick, you might be able to catch the replay. Jethro says, no worries, mate. Nicely done. It's off the line out. This time, rather than going for the rolling maul, Lynch's went back nice inside ball to Mosisi Dawai. Explosive pace off the mark. Gives it to Gregory, who does score the try. Cheers, Hamish, David. And afternoon, gents. There's no greeting, Nazi. Crusaders have held how many championships under their belt? Oh, they've got about 11 or something, don't they? Some ridiculous number like that. Like they could just share it around, be nice to the other teams. That should be a conversion from the Highlanders. In fact, it is. So now the score's 7 points to 12 in this matchup. Could be one going down to the wire here between these two sides. I know that that's the Highlanders' about 5th or 6th attack. They finally get through, and it's actually off a different tactic that they do manage to get it. Thank you, Hamish Legend, bro. Have a good game. Here's the roof. Yeah, are you playing tomorrow, Nate, or not quite? A couple weeks away maybe for your rugby league season. Oh, I've got a message on the cricketing group chat. That's nice. What's that one? Okay, there's nothing. That's the one thing with having it through Facebook is I'll get random notifications. Come on, Crusaders. Last time Crusaders won 17-14 in a close game. Says Mr. Lachlan, kicked him behind by the Crusaders again. Waiting for this one at the back. It will be Miller. But yeah, not a lot of sides that's a knock on, unfortunately, from Haleti Parapara. Yeah, not a lot of sides for number 15, Hurley, but he seems like a decent enough player. In fact, he wouldn't be higher or taller than about maybe 5'8", somewhere around there. 5'8's of F-all, no. About 5'8". And kia ora, Roof Nate, and got league training in 3 hours, boss. We play on Sunday, Arvo. Ooh, hopefully that does end up going all right for you. We should be almost live on Sunday at some stage, so we'll get to find out how your result goes. What's to eat there? I had the most awesome cheeseburger yesterday, mustard, cheese, and pickles. As Roof. At the ground, I haven't actually seen any food trucks at this stage. But I do see that they had some sort of inflatable thing that you can pass a ball through that's now half flat. I think the kids jumped on it. Now, big run. Crusaders 15 out, counter ruck from the Highlanders, but the ball rolls free for Tamaiti Williams, the man mountain. Out 10 out. Hines goes short ball to Brody McAllister, scores a lot of tries. The Crusaders, normally I've got another notification. In fact, this time it's from George. Very popular today. Okay, that one's not important at this stage. That's close. Crusaders one more, and they are over. Christian Leo Willie this time scores the try for the Saders. They get themselves another one. And only Blues, Chiefs, and surprisingly Waratahs beat Crusaders last year. Can anyone beat us this year during the year? And if so, who, says Mr. Lachlan? I always love watching those games between the Highlanders and the Crusaders. They seem to go well. And also a little bit of a dark horse that doesn't quite get the job done normally is actually the Hurricanes up against the Crusaders. What we'll do is we'll quickly update this to say 17 points to 7 at the moment. It also cut it out, says Makavutapol. It also, yes, says Mr. Lachlan. It's Tesla Brothers, says Spacebar. Wait, is it? Have you been Spacebar the whole time, Tesla? Big up the Crusaders. Kick's gone over. And that is going to make the score now 19 points to 7 in favour of the Crusaders. And Crusaders rule. And also Razor Coach New Zealand under 20 a couple of years ago. I think Razor should not wait if any international team want him. Too many political factor, says Ed. I think he's... See, that's the thing. I don't know whether it's because he's so loyal to the Crusaders that, he doesn't want to go overseas, or he's so loyal to New Zealand, even though they haven't really shown him much love back. But, yeah, I don't know whether it's because he maybe just doesn't want to get up and move. So maybe, that's why he's waiting for the All Blacks. Or he's just happy where he is, but it'll be interesting. See if he does pick himself up a job soon. The Scott Box have made contact with Razor to coach them. Yeah, I've been in incognito mode. Nice. So this whole time when I've been saying spacebar, I should have actually been saying Tesla. I'll keep your persona under incognito mode, Mr. Spacebar. Stolen by the Highlanders as the drop ball has gone backwards though into Mighty Williams. It's just jumped on one of the Highlanders players back. Willie Hines looking for that one. Penalty goes the way of the Crusaders for playing the half back. And Tesla Cousin, if you're doing well, buddy, or doing good, buddy, I should say. Only 29 minutes through this matchup. Currently ticked over to 6 p.m. here in New Zealand. It's around tea time. I've just realised I've got quite hungry. And keep it hidden, please. Government is after me. Are they? What'd you do? I don't want to know. It's incognito, of course. I call Dotty Boss the incognito guy. Him. Now Willie Hines. It's a knock-on from the Highlanders, but they haven't decided to play advantage instead. Just going to be play on. Okay, now we've got the advantage in the breakdown. James Lynch just not being able to roll away up to the halfway line now for the Crusaders. Ever since their first 15 minutes, where they didn't really get the ball too often, now they've started finding their momentum. Tax fraud. Is that an actual thing? Like, as in that you actually did? Wow. So you aren't using your normal account. Okay. And also, we have got the Tears Brothers having a beer for all of you Waikato Chiefs. Also used to be pretty good. Lots of good battles with the Crusaders. Did I get the name Waikato correct? Yep, you did. Spelled correctly. Oh, there's a food truck in the background. What they got. And also the merchandise. I see a Lions Club van. Anyone who knows the Lions Club know that they do banger hot dogs. I haven't had a Lions Club hot dog in a long time, though, so hopefully they haven't changed them. Now rolling more, Brodie McAllister at the back for the Crusaders. Still going. Crusaders looking to go to the right with the maul. In fact, both Dallas McLeod and Goodhue look well set, so they're going to go to one of those two first. They go to McLeod. Che Fiaki, nice step. Found the offload as well to Macca Springer. He's lined up by his winger, Bogado. 5 meters out now from the line, Willie Hines. The ball again goes to the right. Step in nicely. That's going to be the youngster, Jamie Hanna. Hines again. Jeez, he's been crushed there. Unfortunately, Dom Gardner. Now another big run crawling towards the line. 5 out. And in fact, there's a knock-on the ground. And the Highlanders survive. Just out from the line. What's the lineup for the Crusaders back line? We will quickly go like this and like this. There you go. So that is the lineup that they've got for the first half. And then they've actually got a different lineup for the second half. And also we have got what they called Hamilton the Big Tron. Don't know. I've never actually heard that nickname before. Hamilton. In fact, I don't think I've heard it. Oh, actually, no. I've heard one Hamilton nickname that I can't say on live stream. Joe Moody off the field with an injury, maybe, or he's just tired. He might just be tired. So instead, they've got Monu Mole. He is now out on the field. We don't talk about that anymore, says Tesla. And once upon it was even Ian Foster, the imposter. He forgot to delete his message on the AB's page. And that's a name we haven't heard in a little while, Jack Goodhue. And he's looking good this year from just this preseason game we've seen. He's looking fitter than he was, looking a little bit more trim as well. He had, like, the injury last year really, I guess, weighed on him, literally. But, yeah, he looks like he's a lot fitter this year now, which is good news for Goodhue. And maybe a spot in the All Blacks midfield. I'll have to change my name back to Tesla. Hold up, boys. Are you going to go back to the picture of the T that you had as well? Perhaps. Or I recognize that it's the red and white, isn't it? That you normally had. I'm not too sure whether or not it was a T. Right. In fact, they've said it's Finley Brewis instead. Maybe. I thought it was Monumoli. Well, made his way out there. They just said about a guy who's off the bench that doesn't exist in my lineups. So I think they just added more players. Ethan Black at a back or still recovering. I believe he's back training. They aren't playing him in this game, but I think he is at the moment about 90%. So yeah, he's getting there. Okay, can someone other than the Crusaders win the Super Rugby comp this year, please, says Marco? I think that's needed, isn't it? So that people stay interested in the Super Rugby competition. Somehow we've once again been overtaken by the scoreboard. Somehow. I'll change my photo to the TC name. There's no worries. I see Tesla now. That's the main thing. And I thanks, boss, says Nate. Right. About to be kicked towards the half line or the halfway line. It's a decent boot. Does go into touch. The Highlanders now with another line out. And hot dogs are great. Good to have good Vienna sausage. Nice with fried onions and ketchup. Says Ruth. Sounds all right. We actually had a barbecue, or not really a barbecue, but we have what you'd have on a barbecue, like burgers and sausages and whatnot, the other night. And we got some patties, and they were not good, unfortunately. But they didn't look right. Like they were cooked, but you'd fry them for ages, or like you cook them in the pan. But they still stayed like a dark, like kind of pinkish red. But they were cooked. So I don't know what they put in them, but they weren't good. Better off making our own ones. There we go. Pipisana. Patafilo. Once again, as our ball. That's a fun name to say. 5 times fast. Willie Hines consider going to the right, instead fakes and goes left. Good you. To Pipisana Patafilo again. Dunshay. Nice inside ball to Fiaki. Now Hines. Right hand side looks like the way to go. Burke. Taken low. Hines again. 35 meters out or so now. Good you. Forward pass. No, flat pass. That's it. Good work in the breakdown from the Highlanders. They get themselves the turnover. Crusaders always keep their focus and discipline. Good basics. That's why they are supreme. There's a Roof and it's Freddie Burns playing for the Landers. He is, but not in this game. But yeah, he's actually going to be a Highlanders player, which is quite cool. In fact, I'll have a look at the second half. Now, second half, they've got Mitch Hunt as one option. Oh, we'll go like that. We'll go like that. No, that's the wrong one. We'll go like that. Also, Sam Gilbert there. So, yeah, I don't think he's made his way over yet. The Highlanders have got the strongest second half side, which makes it quite exciting because we're going to get to see Sam Gilbert, Jonah Nariki, Mitch Hunt. We're going to get to see James Arscott, or as his nickname was back in the day, Whiskey. That's from the cricket days. Did I know that? Jack Goodhue. Now low tackle made again. On Shea Fiaki asking for the penalty was Tetamaki, and he's seen the little knock on. In fact, it's South Africa joining Super Rugby comp again. I reckon they will be able to win it. Look at how good their games are right now. Says Ed. And also Marco, it is the bomb with French fries and potato salad. All right, just left the house to go see Phantom for the last time, listening to the soundtrack like I did first time I went to Phantom. Says Amelia. I've actually been surprised because at New World here, they have boerewors that I did not pronounce correctly, but those big, long South African sausages. They've got them here. Oh, James Arscott's actually out on the field now. They made that sub a little bit earlier than anticipated. Are you streaming the NRL later? Not today, unfortunately, just because I will have to get everything ready for the weekend, but also cricket-wise, I've got to transfer quite a few files. And sadly, my PC, if I transfer files, it actually slows it down majorly. So I'll be watching those games. I just won't be live for them, sadly. But we will be live for a little bit more on Sunday. I think we're going to catch a game, maybe, if we're lucky. I'm actually a little sad, so I won't get to go to Phantom again, says Amelia. But I should mention we will have 2 Rugby Challenge videos coming out. One of France versus Ireland and one of Wales versus Scotland, I believe, was the other one we played. It's actually a couple throwback videos that we had a little while ago. Me and George playing it. I'm wearing that shirt that makes me look like I'm some sort of like tourist pilot. Yeah, it's from a little while ago, that one. A big long South Africa sausage. Says Marco. Yeah, it does sound like something else, doesn't it? Big long Safa sausages. Kind of sounds like the name of a band. But they'd have to be a rock band. And they'd rock out with their... Yeah. But with the rumours of the Phantom sequel returning to Australia, it gives me high hopes. Cheese 48 to the 7 of Moana Pacifica at full time, says it. And the smoked cheese grillers or footlongs, tasty, says Roof. Right, the ball's being fed in. The scoreboard stayed the same for the past 7 minutes. Penalty goes the way of the Crusaders. And what we will quickly do is we'll just add a whole heap of minutes on. Not quite 40. We've gone too far. Go back to 38. That'll do. Somewhere around there. Because our scoreboard will probably end up going slow again. Correct tonight, Amish says David the Mod. India versus Australia sadly also falls into that category of not quite being able to fit it in. But tomorrow and the next day, we've got plenty more live streams, which is good news. Because I feel like just one live stream today feels a little bit light compared to what we would normally do. Nice tackle made again. Our short ball, McAllister puts it down. Jumping onto it there, James R. Scott. And the Highlanders with the advantage with 1 minute left in the half. Well, 20 seconds as ours says, but it is 1 minute. I'll head off though. I might check in before the game ends, says Amelia, so we will see a little bit later on. Hopefully, do enjoy Phantom of the Opera. Kick downfield. Crusaders now with the ball back in their hands. Now Fiaki. Running hard, gives it off to Goodhue. On the short side, steps well. Almost breaks through the tackle of Mosisi Dawai. Now Hines again. Looks off to the right-hand side. Little pop pass up. Done well. And another player that we're missing from this is actually Cullen Grace. So when you realise the players that the Crusaders are missing, that's a great run there from Jamie Hanna. Beautiful inside pass off the offload. McAllister now driven down by Hurley. Will Hines trying to find the step. Another pass, another advantage for the Crusaders. It will be needed heaps of live stream, especially with Cyclone Gabriel ready to bear downstairs, David. So yeah, hopefully it doesn't hit as seriously as that first one did, but it doesn't look good at the moment up there, does it? In terms of the amount of rain that is going to be falling, etc. And I believe that is now going to be going back for the penalty for the Crusaders again. Something that the Highlanders have been doing a little bit too often throughout this first half. Tamaiti Williams just takes the tap and throws himself at the line, the big 146 kg. Now, Crusaders, half an inch. Willie Hines needs to get this one out. It's gone in behind a Fergus Berg. Short ball to Dom Gardner. Finds the offload. Dallas McLeod decides instead of going for it. In fact, it's another penalty to the Crusaders. Oamaru is the place to be. It's not too bad here. We're only expecting a millimetre of rain. So that's going to be nice. And I bet you it's going to fall tomorrow during the cricket, but as long as it's play on, that's the main thing. Now to Mike D. Williams. Another tap. Does he go himself? Yes, he does. Drops his head, drives to the line, 2 metres out. Now Willie Hines goes off to Christian Leo. Willie already scored himself one today. Thought about reaching out. Was just short again. Hines now back to the right. Fergus Burke with the cross kick. Does find the hands of the man out wide, but it's slapped into touch. Is that a deliberate knockdown from Mosisi Dawai? In fact, they've actually gone again, so time might actually not be up due to the stoppage that they had a little bit earlier on. And they didn't actually stop the clock. So we might still have about 2 minutes left in this contest. And over the line, it will this time be Corey Kello. Does get a Mortros Crusaders. I hope David Warner is going to be having a good game. I've been doing some building work at Waikato Stadium, bro. I see the Chiefs training flip. They are all huge. It's a lot different in real life. How big these blokes are, says Marco Vonabola. Yeah, there's some solid guys out there. Like you think about someone like a Tamaiti Williams, who's about maybe 6'4", 200 and something kgs. Oh, sorry, 100 and something kgs, I should say. 140 or somewhere around there. Some big lads out there on the park. But that is going to be another try for the Crusaders. Should be nice and easy to convert. So that will take them up to 26 points to 7. Head of the Highlanders. Is it half time or we still got time? I think we might still have a little bit of time. I am. Hope you're well. Why can't Robinson coach another team to prove his medal? Says John. I think it's just one of those ones that he's not interested in coaching another team because he's pretty happy being in Christchurch. So he's decided if he's going to coach another side, it's got to be worth his while. He's got to either be getting paid well or somewhere that he actually wants to be, which is why I can see him coaching someone like a Fiji. I saw he was over there for that Pacific Nations Cup game. It did take place between Fiji and Australia A. He was over there watching that one with his surf kit on and looking like he had just come off the beach with his fedora. But Yeah, he's got to find a team that he actually wants to coach. Because, yes, he's proved himself at club level, but a lot of people want to see what he can do after that. As that next level of nice stuff. Crusaders, good one, Marco. The big boys, what do they eat? To be so big, says Roof. Just they eat a lot. I think it's the best way of describing it. They'll just continuously have either small meals throughout the day or they will have like a couple big feeds. Keep the boys going. But what we will do is we will go back so that it does say half time. There we go. And boom. So we're good. Half time in this one. Can he do the Fiji dance moves, Hamish? I mean, he's got a few dance moves of his own. He's got the break dancing. He's well known for the Crusaders. Every time that they win a title, he does a break dance. So he's had to do a lot of break dancing. It's the best way of putting that because Crusaders have lifted that trophy a lot as of late. The moment the Crusaders, they've looked strong throughout this first half. We're just seeing the highlights now. The 4 tries they were able to score. We did see Christian Leowilli score, Jack Goodhue, also Corey Kello, and then there was the other try scored. I believe it was... Who was it who got the other try? Was it another one of the forwards? I don't think it was Dom Garner. Who was the other try scorer for the Crusaders, ladies and gentlemen? I know we've seen 4. We've seen Goodhue. We've seen Christian Leowilli, like I mentioned, Corey Kello. Oh, Pepisana Patafilo. He managed to score the first try of the match for the Crusaders. There are kids running around on the field at the moment doing a bit of maybe touch rugby, are they? Or no? They're all confused. They've just done a handover. Oh, it's Ripper Rugby. Nice pass. We won't be commentating that one, though, but they are just showing the highlight of the Highlanders on sale at Ticketek for their season. They've got a couple big games. Doubleheader on the 25th of February up against the Blues. And maybe he can get Scott Berger to coach him. He's also great. Here's Roof. Okay, and adult memberships from $45 for the Crusaders as well. So they are advertising both memberships, which is smart at the end of the day, preseason. It's time that you want to get down to the ground, see what your team are doing. Yourself some merch for the season. When it's good you going back to the AB setup, I rate him just Fozzie. Says John, well, the reason he wasn't there was because of injury. So I guess as soon as he's recovered from the injury, which seems to be about now, but he was out for pretty much a full season due to an injury, so that's why he wasn't getting selected. Rather than not being favoured by Fozzie or anything along those lines, it's just he wasn't match fit. But he's looking better now. And he does actually seem like he's got a little bit more pace to him than he did have during the injury time, so that's a benefit for Goodhue. It's just that question of whether they play him at 13 or 12, whether he's inside or outside centre. A little bit earlier on, we did see Chiefs versus Moana Pacifica. The Chiefs getting themselves a comfortable win in that matchup. There is actually going to be another matchup taking place, and that will be the game between Hurricanes and the Blues. That is tomorrow at 2 p.m. You can catch that one live on the Hurricanes YouTube channel. The only thing is it's on kids mode, which means you can't have live chat. And that was the same with Moana Pacifica as another option. Yeah, currently having some drinks at halftime. A lot of changes will be made in the second half. We go like this, and that's not the right one. There we go. So the second half side. Now, this is probably going to be a little bit changed just because of certain players maybe being more tired or slightly injured or anything along those lines. But Finley Brewis, we did see him actually go on in that first half. It's going to be Moananu at number 2, a new name for the Crusaders. Calder at 3, Mitchell Dunshay and Zach Gallagher, both slotting in the locks. Liam Allen, Tom Christie, and Sione Havili Talatui. They had number 8, Louis Chapman at 9, Kamara at number 10, Galter out on the wing, Harford in the midfield alongside Rover, Taylor Robinson out on the other wing, and then Malani Nanai going to be there at number 15. Second half side for the Highlanders will be as follows. Wingham, Taylor, and Jermaine Ainsley as the front row. Pari Parkinson, the long-awaited return of him. He's had a few injury troubles in the past, which is why he hasn't really had as much time in the Super Rugby season as a lot of people would like to see. But he's getting better now, and it's almost Going to be back, ready to go. There we go. I just had to move that. James Arscott, he's actually already out on the field, I should mention. Josh Dixon at 5. Haig at 6. Withy at number 7. And then Marino Makaeli Tu'u slotting in as number 8. And Jonah Nariki at 10. Mitch Hunt at number 10. He is going to be the captain of the second half. Jonah Nariki 11. Thomas Umanga Jensen and Josh Timu, the midfield combination. They did use a little bit throughout the last season of Super Rugby Pacific. I have to say, though, to Umanga Jensen, definitely someone to watch out for throughout this Super Rugby season. Jonah Lowe out on the wing, coming from the Chiefs, his first game. Sam Gilbert, they're at number 15, and then they've also got Payne and Stoddard as 2 other options off of the bench. And Anton Leonard Brown at 12, and Goodyear at 13 for mine, for the centre combo for the ABs. Although they don't seem to like that one too much because they are 2 very similar players in terms of the way that they do kind of play. So I think they always like to either have Rico on the outside, or maybe they could go with Geordie Barrett at 12 perhaps, just to add a little bit more unpredictability in that midfield. Too slow, John Mills, says Nate. And Crusaders do Disco Inferno burning up that field. And Pari Parkinskin is back. How good, man, is a behemoth. He certainly is. He's a unit. And it should be great to see. Go. Quickly replied to George. He is messaging me. That's the one thing on Messenger. I hate leaving people on like their message being read. And because it's on Facebook watching this game, every time someone messages, they can see that I've seen it. Jordi and Rico, height and speed, says Nate there. And England playing Italy this weekend, Hamish. They certainly are. It's going to be weird to see how it goes. And Ioane is a wing, in my opinion, on a 13, says John Mills. So what would you say for Geordie? Would you say he's a fullback and not an inside centre? Or would you say that Geordie's a good option going at number 12? I quite like Geordie Barrett at 12. I feel like it solves the problem of having too many fullbacks. I kind of would like to see Will Jordan get a little bit more of a crack. You need to attack that 12, in my opinion. So that would be Geordie Barrett. He's made, I think, out of the backs for the Hurricanes, I believe he made the most tackles throughout the season. And he's outside centre, said Nate, and Geordie smart kicking option distribution, can run the ball like a G. He has everything to become better than Nonu at number 12, in my opinion, says Marco. He's a fullback, says John. Okay, fair enough. As long as they don't chuck him at fly half, because that would be a problem. And agree, Hamish, says Nate, need some hot chocolate with extra chocolate and whipped cream. There's so much Scottish and Māori influences in these teams. Great, says Roof there. Looks like they're having a tug of war on halfway, so they're probably still another 2 or 3 minutes away from the second half firing up. Sorted. There is actually the club's 50th Jubilee happening this weekend for the local cricket club. So I think on Saturday, there might be some sort of barbecue that I've been invited to. I'm not too sure whether or not it will be before our game's finished. I'd like to think it would be after. And John Mills has a slow momentums for his AB squad, says Nate there. Yeah, the big tug of war. They've done like 5 minutes of hype for this tug of war, so I hope it's a good one. But we can only see half of the tug of war. Surely they need to rotate that camera just a little bit more and let us see what the happening is. Already a sign of things to come for Super Rugby Crusaders to make the final again. Says Connor and Barrett is nowhere near Nonu. Will never be, says John Mills. Well, they're quite different players, aren't they? Ma'anonu and Geordie Barrett. And I think it's becoming obvious that we're probably not going to change John's mind in any regard. He's got his opinions. He's sticking with them no matter what. It's similar to what we had for the cricket as well. But I think a majority of New Zealand, seeing as you are in Zambia, maybe a little bit different over there, but a majority of New Zealand want to see Geordie Barrett at 12. And they feel that he's the best option for 12 going forward. That's kind of what we're hearing it from grassroots to the local pub to international like coaches. That's what everyone's saying. Geordie Barrett's our 12, and that's what we're going to go with. And also, Geordie has the potential to better Nonu. We'll see in due time. Barrett Brothers always good choice for the selectors. Game changers, says Roof. And also, you're stuck on that era, John. Welcome to the future. Okay, I think the tug of war has been won by the team who were on the right. To be honest, we can only see the team on the right, so they could have been versing some toddlers. And if that's the case, then maybe it wasn't a fair matchup. But the Crusaders, we can see in the background, currently just warming up. And also, is that a super? You need a stable centre combo in the ABs like Nono and Conrad Smith were, says John Mills. And I feel like stability-wise, Geordie Barrett, if you've seen him when he gets going, he doesn't fall over too often. But also, he is just a very good ball-running, attacking option for the ABs. And that is similar to what Martin Nonu did. Like, Conrad Smith on the outside kind of found himself as more of, like, people always say how good Martin Nonu was. But when Martin Nonu didn't have Conrad Smith on his outside, he was nowhere near the player that he was when he had Smith with him. So I feel like they were a bit of a 2-for-1 deal. How's our mate George? Hope he's doing well. Yeah, he's doing all right. He's currently working at the moment. He says he might be free tomorrow. I see everyone wants to watch my cricket. He absolutely hates watching cricket live, though. Definitely when it's like anything longer than an over. And Nonu will always be one of the top legends in New Zealand rugby, says Ruth. And Super Saturday on one of the teams in the tug of war. I don't know. There was some guy wearing like a tradie vest or like a tradie shirt, and there were about 7 of them on one side, and the other side we couldn't see, unfortunately. Just Marshall was also a great scrum half. Brilliant, says Ruth. And Italy should have every opportunity to beat England. That's true. The moment Italy in their game up against France, they played very well. And the thing is, people always go, oh, well, France played badly. But you'd have to say to a certain extent, Italy played badly. They had a lot of drop balls throughout that matchup that if they had been able to hang on to, perhaps it could have been a whole different story for them. If Fozzie has a habit of playing guys out of position, that's half the problem. Savia should be 7, Jordan should be 15, Geordie should be 12. They play in those positions in club rugby, says Papa Shango. That is true as well. If, like, we saw the Hurricanes try out Geordie at 12, and it worked. So everyone was like, okay, good option. And Fozzie was like, hang on, no. Like, remember when he was playing him at 14? He was like, yeah, this looks good. Put him out there. Stick him on the wing. That's like Will Jordan at 14, though. I don't like that because Will Jordan's one of those players that he needs to get his hands on the ball. And when he has it more than a few times, he starts to find his rhythm and can really be dangerous. Whereas when he's out on the wing, he's still good when he gets the ball a few times, but it just takes that little bit longer to go in the best. Says John Mills. I'm back, lads. Big love, David, Nate, and Marco. Says Tesla. And also, if anything, France weren't far off of being their best, and Italy really tested them. And All Blacks 2023 World Cup chance, says Marco with the tongue out emoji. This is a long halftime break, ladies and gentlemen. Rugby fishy, that's a lot of balls. Rugby fishy, that's a lot of balls. Crusaders for the champions again. Wow. I thought it was like the start of some sort of like song. You know the one how you like clap your hands and tap? Like the patter cake one, rugby fishy, that's a lot of balls. There you go. I don't think it's going to catch on, unfortunately, that one, Roof. But put Will Jordan in centre? No. No, we're not allowed to. Fozzie might try it. Geordie at 12, Will Jordan at 13. France for the World Cup, says John. Yeah, I guess they've chosen a good time to struggle. George is still messaging. I feel like George has forgotten that I had a live stream on at the moment. He's just keen for a chat. Right, second half underway. That means I've got to click a button to start the clock. But we're going to start it, and we're going to go forward about 4 minutes because we'll go like that. We'll go like this. There we go. We're going to start at 45 minutes, and I bet you they'll catch up with us by the end of this one. And what a girl will win the 2023 World Cup. And Joe Moody and Will Jordan for the centre, says Tesla. Solid. I was thinking, dude, All Blacks are going to get pumped at the World Cup after our new props and centres. I'm confident we can win. Says Marco, 22 metres out at the moment. That's going to be a knock on from Sexton and not the Johnny that we often think of. Crusaders already having a penalty early on. Now, this is where if they want to go strategic, they could kick for the 3, but they're not going to do that. They're going to go for the corner and try and really put that pressure on. And Marco, the Italians look dangerous. French had a scary match. Says Roof. That one's going to go in. Right, it's number 16 now with the line-out throw. Now, this is a little bit confusing because I don't think it's Moananu anymore. And instead, I'm going to say, if I had to take an educated guess, that it would be Kershaw Sykes Martin. Maybe. Just maybe. Not too sure. And isn't Joe Moody a prop? Yes. He is, John. That was the joke. Now going back across. 10 metres out from the line. Left-hand side. In fact, it's right. Fiaki. Nice step. From this time it is Alex Harford. Although the Highlanders win themselves another penalty. Also, Northern Hemisphere have won 1 World Cup. Southern Hemisphere have won 8. Says Desla. Yeah, it's quite a remarkable stat, isn't it? The fact that it is that uneven, I guess you could say. But there's always this year. You never know. I think George has even messaged so many times in a short amount of time. Steve Borthwick should drop on barrel, let Marcus Smith play his game. Australia will win it under Eddie Jones. I wonder if he will entice some NRL players to come back to Union. I don't know. It will be interesting because I know a lot of people, like when England play Australia, everyone's like, Eddie Jones, you're a traitor. And now they've got to be like, Eddie Jones, you're our coach. So we kind of have to say, go coach. His eyes on Suali'i. Big Nelson, Asafo Solomona. Geez, those 2 blokes would kick butt in Union, and don't quote me on that 100. Well, Hamish, I'm 80% sure that is true. I think it's close. I think the only Northern Hemisphere side to win was England. And then, yeah, it's about 8 for the Southern Hemisphere, or 7, something like that. Big tackle made on Sam Gilbert, driven backwards. Now Mitch Hunt with the forward pass out to Mosisi Dawai, and it was forward, but no one called it. Marcus Smith can't tackle, says John Mills. I feel like you are in a very similar boat to Yanri, John. How every scenario you can manage to find some sort of negative in it, which must be fun. Mitch Hunt now goes off into the hands of Marino Makelitu. Now 35 metres out, James Arscott goes off to the right. Would have been the big man, Haig, at 6. Just managing to hang on to it. What's up, dude? Says Darren. Welcome in, mate. Can you tackle John Mills, says Tesla? Go the Highlanders from November. And at the moment, they need a good second half, and they've almost found that pass out wide, but instead Sam Gilbert taken down. Now James Arscott goes across. Marino Makeletu, short ball from Mitch Hunt, goes to Josh Dixon. And because I can't, and France were close in 2011. Nice run from, I believe that is Withy. Does replace James Lynch's. I don't think tackling is a Big Mac combo from Macca's. They go all right. I actually had a McChicken a couple weeks ago, and I'd never had one up till that point, and they weren't bad. They're actually probably better than the Gourmet Creations menu. Also, John Mills never played rugby, I believe. Says Nate, first time here, buddy. Hello, says Darren. So, yeah, I hope you're doing well. We are going to be covering the whole of Super Rugby Pacific. So, yeah, if you're new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more coming. We're doing the lineups of the games in video form. We've got 6 nations. The Rugby World Cup we'll be covering as well. What about name of the Crusaders team? The All Blacks for the World Cup. Lots of them in the All Blacks squad. Dan Carter, the coach. That would annoy a lot of people. Definitely anyone who's not a Crusaders supporter. But if they won, then everyone would have to be like, oh, yeah, nah, fair enough. Yes, Tesla, just like Elon Musk. Scott goes to Mitch Hunt. Umanga Jensen, quick hands. Mosisi Dawai. In fact, sorry, that's actually Jonah Nariki now. He's made his way onto the field. Now to the wing. Jonah Lowe kicks it to mine. Sam Gilbert was searching for it, but it's stolen by the Crusaders. Although the Highlanders over the ball. Do they get the counter-ruck? They almost do, yes. And it's going to be on the side of the Landers. We have looked pretty strong in the breakdown here. Mitch Hunt now off to Jonah Nariki. Back from his injury. Now Haag with the big ball on the outside. Thomas Umaga Jensen scores the try. And the Highlanders get the first of the second half from New Plymouth. And gave you some bud. There's Darren there. It's New Plymouth. Have you guys been getting the heavy rain as well, Darren, or is it not quite that far down? Have they called this back? Maybe for a forward pass. Have they? No, the ref on the sideline looked happy. And at number 13, Mr. Tesla. Have heard of Tana Umanga? Same. Says John, I like the triple cheeseburger combo. It's like $11 and usually gets the job done. Says Tesla, and guess he's homeless. He lives on YouTube's shelter. Aranui. Says Nate, a nice one. Says Nate, they've actually called that one back, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. And Boss Burger combo, my favorite at Macca's. And Elon Musk, wasn't he born in South Africa, says Roof. And didn't Jensen play for the Hurricanes? That is his brother, Peter Umanga Jensen. A little bit confusing because they are, I believe, twin brothers. But yeah, Thomas Umanga Jensen, Highlanders. Peter Umanga Jensen, Hurricanes. That's going to be Thomas Umanga Jensen again. Nice step. Ball on the inside to Josh Timu, who now offloads to Jonah Lowe. This is great from the Highlanders. Now only 5 meters out from the line. Ascot gets it away quickly to Marino. Makali too. Tom Christie, though, in the breakdown over the ball. No, doesn't get it. Now Chapman, another offload there. A little bit loose from the Highlanders. Now Mitch Hunt, wide ball to Jonah Nariki. Steps, but a nice low tackle made on him by the number 23. It looks very similar to Dallas McLeod, but Dallas McLeod actually had a number on his back. Big love to everyone in Auckland suffering those floods. Any good luck to us this week, lads? A storm heading our way. Tackle Twitter, all right, says John. And come on, Landers. Jesus says, nay, Marino. Makali too. Hang on. It's called back for obstruction, but it's a penalty to the Crusaders. So that's twice that they've gone over the line, and twice that has been called as a no try. I've seen the plane spraying the clouds literally 12 hours prior to the Auckland floods 2 weeks ago, says Marco. And first time here, I love this, the shout out or the sort out. Maybe the shout out from Darren there. But yeah, we do a lot of rugby games, cricket as well, if you are a fan of that, rugby league. And the goal of the channel is always just to either provide the commentary as one, but also just have somewhere that you guys can come chat about the game while it is taking place. And there are plenty of games taking place in the near future. George has messaged me about 7 messages in a row now. Now, rolling maul for the Crusaders. Chapman's got it. Louis Chapman, that is. Played for the Tasman boys throughout Super Rugby, close to the touchline, and it actually goes out on the full. Sam Gilbert now looking to keep this one played at a fast tempo. And this is where they might have a big advantage because the second half, they've got some big dogs out on the field. Mitch Hunt, Nariki, Umanga Jensen, Timu, Lowe, Gilbert. That's the back line looking strong as ever. And then in the forward pack, they've got Josh Dixon, Parkinson, and also Marino, Makali too. Big run forward, though, from, I believe that is the replacement number 16, Kershaw, Sykes Martin, another knock on from the Highlanders. Will go back for the scrum. Did you see cloud seeding in New Zealand, Hamish? No, not that I know of. I don't leave the house. And also T20 World Cup starts tomorrow, says Papa Shango. That is true. Women's T20 World Cup. It's a shame that the games are on at 6 a.m., but I feel like the second innings might be the ones that we are able to catch. And strength and luck to those caught up in the floods. Love from Cape Town. I went to high school with Thomas and Peter, the twins. They were dope. Super humble, always dab me up, says Tesla there. They do seem like very nice guys, the two of them. They've gone head-to-head quite a few times in Super Rugby. Our scoreboard, I mentioned that I put it about 5 minutes ahead. It has actually fallen behind somehow. So we're going to skip forward about 7 minutes this time and hope that it somehow stays at the time that it should. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to take a risk. We're going to match it up, kind of. And we're going to leave it about there. And hopefully that works out. Now, Crusaders giving away another penalty in the breakdown. The Highlanders get it again. And what place you live? So I am in South Canterbury, halfway in between Timaru and Oamaru, but also 30 minutes away from where this game's taking place in Oamaru. And also, yes, they do. Seeing two players seeding the clouds in Hamilton, 1 hour away from Auckland, 12 hours later. Big, huge flood rain like crazy, says Marco. And thumbs up to you, says Darren. And yes, they have. They really are chill, humble lads. I played a few games 2K, or played a few 2K games with them on PS4 too. Have you? As in the NBA or the WWE side of things? Or maybe a bit of PGA Tour, a bit of golf. What else did 2K do? 2K, no, they don't do the hockey, do they? I think that's EA Sports. What did 2K do? They've got the basketball, they've got the WWE, the golf. They've got something else as well, I think. NBA, okay. Me and George, there's a video that we played ages ago of us playing NBA. In fact, it was me, George, and Mum. Never got released. It's a secret one. I should mention we've got a couple Six Nations Rugby Challenge 4 throwback videos coming up in the near future on the channel. Ascot now short ball, 22 metres out from the line. The Highlanders have been close many times throughout this half, but they need to find that finishing blow. Big run from Marino Makaeli to Let's go straight over the top of Joe Bryle. Now Ascot. The Marino Makaeli to again. Penalty to the Crusaders. This game in the second half has been very stop-start. The moment, not good, Marco. Did they cause the floods then in Auckland and find today, says Darren, and I might go to the Chiefs preseason game in Pukekohe next Friday, says Nobum. Are they playing the Blues in that one, Nobum, I believe? I think that one's actually on Sky. That's the only preseason game that Sky have decided to get the licensing for. What's for dinner, Papa Shango? Says Tesla. Tell you what, dinner would go all right now. I'm getting peckish. Line out now. Number 16, which I believe is Kearshaw, Sykes Martin. Thrown in nicely. Forward pass on the halfway line. They've got to go back for it, don't they? Yes, they do. And now on the halfway line, it is going to be another scrum for the Highlanders. And just banging some mashed potatoes with peas, says Papa Shango. And I love your hype, hell yeah, says Darren. I seem to have a lot of energy throughout these live streams. And the thing is, we've done live streams before that we've done like 9 hours worth of matches, like game after game after game. And even by that last one that's on at like 7 a.m. New Zealand time after staying up the whole night, we are still normally wide awake, which is one thing that I am very thankful for, that I don't fall asleep on these streams. Because if I did, that would be a whole different stream, wouldn't it? All of a sudden you just hear it and then down he goes. Now Marino Makaeli too. Wide cut-out pass from Mitchard. Now to Jonah Lowe, ex-Chiefs player, looking to cause an impact here at the Highlanders. We've actually seen a few of the Chiefs players make their way to the Highlanders recently. Josh Timu, nice run around the side of the breakdown. Now Ascot goes to Marino Makaeli too again. Moving to 10 metres out from the line. Ascot one more off to the side. Now it's going to be the big number 1, Wingham. Ascot short ball to Thomas Umaga. Jensen puts his body on the line. Penalty goes the way of the Highlanders. And also we have got the Hamish Bro. Did you watch the Chiefs versus Moana game? Chiefs wing and Liam Coons fabling. Looking fire. I hope he gets more game time, says Joe Bo. I did watch about the first 50 minutes of that matchup. I did see that they won it by quite a margin. I hope he continues that form. It might have been the case of because they were playing a slightly, some would say, easier side, that he shone a little bit brighter. But yeah, I hope that he does get game time throughout the season. And Chiefs playing Blues, and the Chiefs Manawa playing the Waratahs Women's and the Women's Blues. Says Knob Mum and Table is as flat, or as in flat. Gorgeous to go up on cable car on a clear day, says Roof. And I see the boys in Dwarf only got one because he's struggling. No sledging today, says John. Yeah, at the moment, Australia not doing well up against the Indians. Currently, it is 141 for 3 in that matchup. So we might actually end up seeing the Australians by the end of tonight batting, maybe. Now, going round the side, Marino Makaeli to Cheesy's been busy since making his way out onto the field. That is very, very close, but still just short. Ball there available. Scott goes back now to Wingham. Defender well at the moment here, the Crusaders, and they look to do it again now. Round the side, creeping closer. Very, very, very close. We're talking a game of inches, and that is probably about that same amount of inches away now. Scott goes wide out to the left, mid-chant, drawing pass. Jonah Lowe scores it, and they're in for their first try of the second half. It's close to their third. They've just kept on going over. And also what we type, you see about 5 minutes later, says Darren, yeah, sometimes the chat is a little bit slower, and also depending on how quick the game's going, it is tricky to balance both, but I always try and make it a goal to read out every single message in the chat, even if we're like 10 minutes behind in the chat, just reading through what we've missed. There we go. Scoreboard is going to get updated. What's the wrong button? We'll go there, and we'll go up to the Highlanders, and we'll give them another 5. Here we go. What about some questions? Was there some questioning by Australia about ball tampering? There was. It was Jadeja. He had some ointment on his finger to try and take away some of the pain of it. But I believe there were questions of whether or not he was rubbing that on the ball. And yeah, there's been, of course, it's probably going to get pushed under the rug straight away, just because like they're not going to try and take on the biggest country in the world for cricket when it comes to calling them a beat. Like that's not going to go well. Someone's going to disappear probably, but yeah, it's not ideal. Of course, you'd think that India wouldn't need any more advantage than they already have in terms of the skill. Darren has donated. Thank you very much, Darren. You didn't write a message. That's a throwback. I remember watching that back at school. What are you talking about? That's the right one, isn't it? I can't think of their names. It's something the Sasquatch, wasn't it? What are you talking about? And also, do ram raids happen in Waimate? I think so. I haven't experienced one, though, luckily. And Bunnings never sent any, says John. Or Bunnings, I think. And David Warner just has to get good balls, and he can sledge, says Ruth. And I was like, the boot on the other foot. And I was, yeah, complaining, says Papa Shango. Yeah, so that's another reason why they'll be like, nah, like you did it, so we don't trust that you'd call someone else out for doing it, because you're probably doing the same thing, if that makes sense. It's a bit of a tongue twister. Darren was, no, that was your name. I thought I recognized what the name was of the person. I thought it was Dazza, but I don't think it was. I can still see him. I can't think of his name now. Going to the short side here for the Crusaders. Nice step, a brilliant takedown there from the Highlanders. Now, Blair Murray. Chapman. It's available at the back again for the Crusaders. They go low. And also, we have got there, I thought he had good balls, Ruth, says John. And also, George looks at the type to participate in ram raid-like activities, says Marco. I mean, if you told George that he could that's a big shot, could do like a raid of some sort and get to kick down a door, he'd be keen. He'd be like, yep, okay. Great tackle made from the Highlanders, though, only 5 minutes out from their line. They have now got the possession back. 59 minutes into this contest, even though the scoreboard doesn't seem like it knows what's quite going on. And I was like, yeah, George would probably participate, says David. Knock on. And now the Highlanders, they'll have another scrum. So far, scoreless second half. Come on, the Crusaders, says Mr. Lachlan. Yeah, just the one try we're seeing from the Highlanders. If the Highlanders score 2 more converted, they are now, if they got that, they would be leading, which would be pretty massive for them. There's a chance we could see a draw in this one. And sorry, until Highlanders scored, says Mr. Lachlan. Yeah, scoreless second half for the Crusaders at this point. And then he put everything back. Yeah, just do it to be able to break a window or kick a door down. He's quite a keen individual when it comes to doing stuff. Also, sorry, my scoreless comment was dumb. Just saw the score change. No, scoreless for the Crusaders, though. So if that's what you were referring to, then you were correct in that regard. I knew what you meant anyway. where I live with a 14-year-old. He talks about ram raids all the time. Mischief guy. That's kind of concerning, isn't it? See, I think I know what a ram raid is, but when I was 14, I wouldn't have even known anything along those lines. I would have thought it was like when you went to a farm and like stole a sheep, like steal raid a ram, which I don't think is what it is it? It's like to get the old bad substances, isn't it? Hopefully they can score another try and use no score for the Crusaders and got to discipline him, Papa. Seriously, and those young cats aren't educated enough. 60 minutes through at the moment. Scoreboard actually has almost been keeping up with itself, which is great to see. And where's Isaac these days back here in Melbourne? Says Nate. So Isaac is in Christchurch at the moment. So he has been working, or just, pretty much working the same job that he was last time. Getting car parts and whatnot for one of the car brands. I can't remember which one it was. Get in touch with your inner Jake the Muss about the boy into submission, Papa, says Marco. And that's a very smiley face to have after it as well, isn't it? 5 meters out. Highlanders, I believe this time, and number 21, well, it's got to be James Arscott, but it's not. He also watches the dark web and gore videos all the time at 14. Yeah, no, he's going to turn out to be a wrong and unfortunately, Papa Shango. I hate to tell you. Now Sam Dixon, sitting close. Jonah Nariki kicks it in behind, looks to get it back, but it's going to be cleaned up. Whoa, that's a big shot. Brilliant one. That was not Milani Nanai, though, but it's a penalty to the Highlanders. Isaac is cool. He is a cool individual, Isaac. Very good bloke. And hopefully we'll be able to do something with him relatively soon. In fact, I'm thinking about sending it. I've just got to make sure he's free on the weekend that I do it, but I'm thinking about sending him some tickets to go to a Crusaders home game. Because he's up in Christchurch, and I feel like that would be quite cool to send him to one, just a random one. But the hard part is knowing that he's free because he's a busy boy. Number row, they need Beth Hickey. Motivation as well, says Nate. He's still too young, though. Give him enough guidance and he would be okay, says Des. Like, yeah, kids are thick. Like, it sounds like a brutal statement, but kids, like, as long as you teach them right, they forget things like that they did know. If that makes sense. Mr. Lockwood is also donate. It's a donation party at the moment. That's our second donation of the day on a Super Rugby Preseason live stream. I feel like to say that I wasn't expecting anything from this live stream in terms of donation-wise was an understatement. I thought it was just going to be a chilled-out group. He won't listen to me. He doesn't even listen to his dad, says Papa Shango. I say take him to a prison, like that show, what's it called, where they take them to prison and show them what life's like on the other side, try and teach them the right way. Whereas the match being played, Amish, is in Oamaru. If you know whereabouts that is, about 2 hours north of Dunedin. I thought Milani Nanai was playing for the Worcester Source Warriors. Well, Worcester went bust, didn't they? If I'm not wrong, because they had some problems with the money. So they disappeared alongside the Wasps. So, yeah, that's why he is now signed for the Crusaders. Wise words, Amish kids these days don't want to hear it, but show them the end result of the wrong teachings, basically leave them in a gang pad for a few hours, says Tesla. It make a good YouTube video, but you probably shouldn't do it as a YouTube video. Instead, just as a life lesson. Now currently driving hard at the line round the side. Here come the Highlanders again. Dixon's held up, but it's going back for the penalty again. The Highlanders, this second half has been all theirs. Crusaders have been trying hard, but they just don't seem like they've quite got it right yet. And I think this is going to be the case of the Highlanders making a better decision in terms of putting on their stronger side in the second half. Shout out to Darren and Mr. Lachlan. And the young kids are a reflection of the surrounding, says David the Mod. And he thinks he's gangster, says Papa Shango. Oh, he's not one of those guys who wears his like pants around his knees, is he? Like those type of gangsters. I've never understood that. It's like, why are your pants so low? Like, what's the point? Like, literally, what is the point? It's just saying, hey, I can't afford a belt. and I don't want a belt because I'm gangster. That's a try for the Highlanders there. They've got another one. They're on fire at the moment, the Landers. That's going to be their third of the matchup. And now they move up to 19 points and spare the belt, spoil the child in my day, Hamish. Says John and gets into fights all the time and inviting other booty bandits into this behind. Yeah, I have no idea why. I'm going to the NRL All-Stars game tomorrow, says Mark. Awesome. And a lot of fun. He's not too keen on that one. Currently in the Australia Test match, I should mention they are 149 for 3 India at the moment. Why do people, I'm going to Google this, wear their pants low? Why wear sagging pants? It is often claimed the style where belts are sometimes prohibited, and they can be a lack of appropriately sized clothing. So they wear them because they can't get the right size clothes. So pretty much it's calling them thick. They're going, no, I don't know what size I am, so these will do. They're around my pants, around my ankles. There's a Spanish showing his butt cracks called 000. That's a fire department and not really a Māori all-star team. When heaps pulled out of the team, what's up with that, bro? Yeah, it's a shame that they haven't really got their full side that they like to have to be cool and staunch. Ow, says Nuzzy Williams. I feel like I'll have to be careful going out if I'm insulting people who wear their pants low. As soon as I see someone that's doing it and they look at me, I'll be like, did you see the live stream? Are you going to stab me? It's supposed to be for easy access. I saw it in a rap video, says Papa Shango. Easy access for their front or their backside, Papa? And also easy access for the R word in jail. Easy. Says Tesla. Loose ball. Crusaders under pressure again here. 15 minutes remain on the clock, though. Now Blair Murray. Kicked way downfield. Nice bit of work. And Highlanders now returning fire. Looked like Crusaders considered taking it quickly, but they decided against it, which was probably smart because this game is a very quick one. You don't want to gas yourself out. Definitely not yet. Here we go. We'll change our clock a little bit. They've changed it. Okay, they've gone quickly. That's what I don't get, says Papa Shango. Scotty Boland gets some wickets, Hamish, says John Mills. At the moment, the 3 wickets that Australia have been able to get, they have been taken by Todd Murphy, all 3. So he's having a great first game. Which is very nice to see. And Māori boys walk around like that, everyone will embrace them or embarrass them. Here we go, Wash, says Nate. Now, around the side again, Chapman goes back. Crusaders looking to fire and get back into this contest, which they have been having a strong first half, but just not quite a good second. Shout out to me, says Darren. Exactly right. You are the leading donator of this live stream, Darren. And this is your first live stream, so it is very hugely appreciated. What a game, says gets to the best. Now Chapman again. Short ball. Through he goes. Tell you what, brilliant run. Offload as well. And Louis Chapman goes in for the try. We've got another donation. Is it a generous Friday or something? But that is a try for the Crusaders. Wow. Who's number 16? I want to say that it was Kershaw Sykes Martin, but it may not have been. In fact, it might have been Moananu. It was Moananu. He's changed his number on the back of his shirt for this matchup, but he's certainly got plenty of toe when he starts going. We're going to go like this, and we're going to go like this, and we will go up, and we'll give the Crusaders another 5 points. Do you have Levi's in New Zealand? Levi's. Are they a type of shoes? As if they're not, I'm not sure. This is on TV. It's on the Highlanders Facebook page to be able to watch this one. You're going to have 10 MMT flags. Your car for the big game, Mark Roberts. Says Highlanders have 19. They got 21. They do. It didn't update, unfortunately. So we'll go like that. There we go. They are now on the right amount. And here, Mark, they're going to have to dig deep. That Aussie team is stacked. And also what we got here, see the real one, it is preseason of Super Rugby, so not quite to the stage of the actual season taking place. You're streaming NRL All-Stars. I want to, but unfortunately, wait, when's that game take place yet? It's not the Indigenous versus Māori All-Stars, is it? What time are they playing? The NRL All-Stars. Levi's are Jeans. And yes, we do. Okay. Papa Jeans. Who scored for the Landers? We did see a try from who got the second half try? Marino Makieli 2, I think, got it. If I'm not wrong. And then in the first half, who do we have? I can't actually remember now. And can't that kid wear some then, says John. In India, hard to beat at home, says Papa Shango. Exactly right. And the Highlanders are losing in there. One moment. I'll have a look at their first half side and that will refresh my brain. Scott Gregory scored. And then also, I think, might have, who was the other try scorer? Tetamaki hasn't. Mosisi Dawai's been close, but hasn't. Was it Ascot? No, I don't think Ascot managed to get in. Not sure who got that other try, sorry. Someone, anyway. We'll go with that. Oops, I just accidentally changed my screen to the wrong picture. There we go. That's the right one. Perfect. We got another donation. Tesla, you're on fire. Big love to Ham, Nate, Marco, and David in there as well. It's 4 donations on this stream. Now another run from Toazumanga Jensen. Short ball. This is no longer Ascot as the halfback. And also, what else are you viewing this weekend, Hamish? There's Nancy Williams. So we are going to be doing all the Six Nations fixtures. We're also going to be doing, I believe, an NRL game either tomorrow or the next day. And then also a little bit of India, Australia, we're hoping to throw in there for good measure. And then there's also another comp that's taken place, I think, that we're going to get one game out of. I had it all planned out, but now I can't remember it. But I'm pretty much tonight going to be doing all the thumbnails and getting everything prepared for those weekend live streams so that they do run smoothly. And big love, my bro, Tesla. Says Blues Nate there. Hopefully the stench of Roto Vegas will be enough to put off the Abo boys, and we will pull off with a win, Chahoo. There you go. Strategic tactics, eh? Enough for a wicket box from KFC. That is true. Do you know what? If George was watching, he would shotgun that wicket box. Now rolling. Highlanders 5 meters out, looking to get another try and get back into this contest just a little bit more on Thursday. Can you do New Zealand versus England test? That is another one that we will be doing in the near future. Now rolling. Oh, it's down. And the Highlanders get another. This game's just throwing a couple more curveballs at us near the end of it, which is great to see. We'll give it 7 points because that should be a nice, easy conversion. And it gets closer once again. Māori have won against the Indigenous NRL All-Stars 3 years in a row, says Papa Shango. And also the Crusaders just easing off for injuries. Hamish says, John, I don't think so. I think it's more they may have gone with too much of a strong lineup for that first half. And with the Highlanders still being fresh, it was working quite well in their favour. And then second half's around the Highlanders, they've got a lot more experience out there on the field, and it's starting to do very well. And also, speaking of George, did he buy himself KFC nuggets? Not quite. The chicken nugget challenge is coming soon. Another one from Tesla. Keep grinding, everyone. Don't give up. Says Tesla in there. Inspirational words right there. Not just for the rugby, but in general. Currently overcast in Oamaru. I hope it doesn't rain, because if it rains tomorrow, if we get called off for a game, 3 games in a row, that's going to be annoying. But it shouldn't rain. It's only like 1 millimeter planned or something, 23 or 33 to 28. It's closer than the first half. And the man says Nazi Williams. Stop it, nah, keep it coming, says Nate. I'm trying to think of the last time we had 5 donations on the same stream. It was probably almost 6 months ago. Somewhere around there. Can you do Super Smash Final tomorrow, please? What time does it start? Cats are the best. Because unfortunately, my cricket might be going on. That's taking a player out in the air. It's going to be the penalty to the Highlanders. They'll be liking that. And this year, the Indigenous side have gone with a lot of well-tested players. He's marking a rich guy. Here's Papa Shango in there as well. Okay, everyone's just going for it now. Tell you what, we'll put up Marco's first. Thank you, Marco. He's been in prison for a while, hasn't he? If I'm not wrong, old Andrew. And then Tesla also donated again. with the love heart. So that's 7. Incredible stuff for a preseason. That wasn't straight from the Highlanders. They'll be hating that. 73 minutes through. And 2:30 the women, 6:40 men might be doable, but only just. So I have to wait and see. Sorry, Cats are the best. But more than likely, our game will finish at about 7, and then I will be going down to the local Jubilee for the 50 years. We're breaking records tonight, fellas. Says Des. Like, yeah, I'm not sure what our most... I know that we had, in terms of value, that was on Moana Pacifica versus the Chiefs, I think it was last year. And that was actually Marco and Rio Gamer just started going at each other and just boom, boom, donation after donation. But the most number of donations, I feel like we've never had 10 on the same stream. Or I know we've probably had like 5-ish, but 7 seems like it's probably quite high up there in terms of the number of donations for a singular live stream. And Sam and Louis sound like royalty. Go Crusaders, says Ruth. I'm tempted now. Just a bit more, says Nate. You have been known in the past, Nate, for splooging. Is that the right word? What's splooging? Splooging sounds dirty. Jonah Lowe now tries to grubber it forward and sits up, though, for the Crusaders. They're 5 meters out from their line. Still 5 minutes left on this live stream. Or, sorry, of this matchup, I should say. And now Finley Christie, in fact, sorry, it's Tom, gives it out wide. It's kicked downfield from the big man, but it goes straight to Mitch Hunter. Now they can counter across the field. And where's Smith at? Says like, yeah, Steve Smith, we haven't seen him in ages. I hope he is all right. That's the main thing, that he is still all right. And I think he's just very busy with work, I hope anyway. That's the other thing. I always find when people disappear, you hope that they're just healthy and they're doing well. It's now dangerous, says Xavier. I can't remember his name, but he used to drop 100 donos. That is Steve Smith indeed. Yes, Steve Smith says Tesla now a nice offload on the inside. Sam Gilbert goes one more. Mitch Hunt, wide cutout pass. Bit of space opening up here for the Highlanders. Winger just stays in the field of play there. That's a different number 14. I think that might have been the first half number 14. Okay, so Cats are the best. And there's our now Jermaine Ainsley. 15 out. Highlanders still attacking hard. James Lynch's. No, it's not James Lynch's. There's a lot of players who are the numbers of the players that they normally would be, but they're not. That wasn't English, but it almost sounded like I was rapping a song of some sort. This is it, says Xavier. Yes, they have not the guy, Sam Smith, which Highlanders player just scored off the rolling maul. I'm an Oz, I can't view the stream. You can actually, David, on Facebook. They have got the option to be able to watch this game. In fact, I've got the link here. So I highly recommend checking that out. But yeah, you will be able to see all of the action from this game, and they might even let you go right back to the start to watch the full matchup. So yeah, highly recommend checking that one out. And another one from Tesla. And also for Andrew Tate, big love to everyone. Says Tesla now biting in the final minute. So the last rolling maul try, I believe, was scored by Taylor. I hope, anyway. It made the most sense for it to be him anyway, off the back. But I think they more got excited on the commentary and didn't really say who scored it. 77 minutes through. The Highlanders kick it for the corner. I believe they got it wrong. Yes, they did. It went dead. So that will be another one that the Highlanders have slightly blown, but that now means that we've got only a couple minutes left at the moment. And Tesla rolling in style. He is, although he did tell us that he's up for tax evasion, so maybe he's just trying to get rid of all the funds. bit of dirty money, if that is the case. Now, 2 minutes left. This is for the Farmlands Cup in 2023. In 2022, the Crusaders were able to get something to eat. Ham, says Tesla. Well, that's another one. For the amount that you've donated, I'd get myself a Christmas ham, couldn't I? Straight off the bone, although they're probably out of season now, seeing as we are in February. And I was going to say, with Sebastian in Romania, Hamish, yeah, he's still in Romania at the moment, both of them. And also we have got to see from Mark now. Nice work from Sam Gilbert. Runs forward. Highlanders still in possession, 40 meters out from their line. And they just continue to try and attack one last time. 100 seconds left on the clock. Marina Makeli Tu'u tries to go around the side. And this is where the Highlanders, having those more experienced players out there on the field, it's going to be so important. Because if they can get it right, oh, did he knock it on? They're asking for it, but that's not going to be given. Sebastian, our brother Sebastian, now nice running. Grubbers at forward, the number 2. He's winning the foot race, and he scores the try. What a try it is as well. Taylor just scored in the 79th minute. A hooker went for the grubber and actually won a foot race against 2 of the backs. What a try. The microphone of the guy who's commentated is gone to absolute. It's gone bad. He runs through the big man, Grubbers. He beats number 25 and number 24 for the Crusaders in the foot race. Scores the try. And the Highlanders, they now move to 33-33 with not a lot of time left on the clock. They've got 1 kick to go. I haven't seen 7 in a damn while. He's been about. It's just normally the random hours. A big unit says, Nate, he ain't got speed. 2 minutes go, come on, Crusaders. Woo, the kick is successful. And the crowd are up 35 points with 10 seconds left. Wow. Says Nazi Williams. Yeah, that's exactly what you want for a preseason game. I feel like Steve Smith is a drug dealer. No, I think he works in the mines, he said, in Western Australia. So he's just a hard-working boy. What a game. Says Cats are the best. Now they've got 10 metres that they've got to kick this one to try and retain here for the Crusaders. And it's, it's claimed. Crusaders, one last chance. No, it's called as a knock-on. And that now could be the end of the game. What's the streaming on? It was on Facebook. Here's the link for the live stream. You might get to see one last play from the Highlanders. If we've got time, is the game over? Yes, it is. And the Highlanders get themselves the Farmlands Cup for 2023 in emphatic fashion with the final minute try being scored by none other than Taylor in the number 2 jersey, which definitely goes down as try of the match. Taylor has said, is it a pool game? No, preseason. So still a little bit of time, couple weeks till we get into the next match. And what a game that's it, fellas. And Eddie Jones interested in Nelson Asafa Mona, says Nate. Well done, the Landers. And no, says Xavier. And there, so yeah, it's still preseason. The cup will be going the way of the Highlanders. And what a way to finish this contest. And also we've got another donation from Maka Viravala. And have a cone on us, Jabru Rastafari. If I said that correctly, I'll be honest, I don't know what that means. Ja, is that Ya? Boo? And unfortunately you can't access. Really? So they've landlocked it to New Zealand, even though it's through Facebook. I didn't know you could do that on Facebook. I thought that it had to be, or like you could watch it from anywhere on Facebook. I didn't actually realize that. I apologize, David. All the time I've been going, here's where you can watch it, David. Here. And the whole time it just hasn't worked. Luckily, the highlights will be up on the Super Rugby YouTube channel, though, after this matchup. And do we record to him? I think we're close to it. I think that's about 9 donations on this live stream, isn't it? I'm not actually sure whereabouts. You can see what the most number of live stream donations is. Oh, we're on 9, so surely 9's up there. And how are you doing today? I'm doing very well. Enjoying the preseason, so Crusaders can still win the 2023 Cup. They certainly can. Cody Taylor, no. Actually, his first name, Jay. I think it's James Taylor for the Highlanders. I mean, we can keep going. And me and Marco are rolling, says Tesla. I mean, only if you want to. That's the main thing. I always say we do these live commentaries. They're completely free of charge, mainly because, like, at the end of the day, we are just saying what is happening on the screen. And I'm off to league training. I'm a puff of oxygen. The Mighty Crusaders just know how to win, says Papa Shango. And latest brother Nate says Tesla there as well. Robinson won't be breakdancing tonight. Their name is, says John Mills. No, but I don't think even if he won it, he'd be breakdancing, seeing as it's a preseason fixture. And it would look a little bit funny. But all the players out there on the field, the kids ran on. See, if I had gone to the game, I'd have to wonder, would I be one of those people who ran onto the field? Would I have the balls to do it? I don't know if I would have. I would have tried to probably interview a player. Just to ask them some question in an chat, who are your favourite rugby players, says Connor. It's a good question. See who everyone comes back with in latest, my bro. And enjoy the rest of the evening, Tesla. Cheers, Nate. And cheers, lads and ladettes. Good to catch up with you guys. All love. Cheers, Marco. So I would say favourite player at the moment in World Rugby for me, I'm probably still on the Artie Savia road, even though a few of the other players have recently been stepping up quite nicely. In this game, favourite player, I'm probably going to go, even though he didn't have too much action, still Thomas Umanga Jensen, just because he definitely puts in a big shift every time that he's out there on the park, which is absolutely brilliant to see. And I love you all. Keep grinding. Hamish chat this year is ours. Cheers, Land. Cheers, Marco. Cheers, all, says David. So we will have the coverage tomorrow, or not, sorry, coverage, but we will be playing cricket tomorrow. So I'll be filming that so you guys can see it. Who won? It was Highlanders with a last-minute try from their number 2, Taylor. They did win it 35 points to 33. Yeah, scoring in the 79th minute to be able to go on and get themselves that victory. So a very impressive one from the Highlanders. What about all-time? All-time's tough. I know that a lot of people would probably go with either a Dan Carter or a Richie McCaw in terms of up there for all-time favourites. Definitely for the Kiwis, but all-time's hard. Straight away, my brain kind of went to someone like a Conrad Smith, but all-time, who we got? Certainly one to think about, isn't it? Because you got so many eras that you could go with. But a lot of people wouldn't even say that Conrad Smith is up there. I'd probably go Dan Carter just because, you know, it kind of spoke for itself, the stats that he had. Thank you, the Kiwi lads. Take care. Enjoy your evening. Says Nate there. You too, mate. Poison Dwarf has balls according to Roof. As a full-time, it is indeed. So the game is over. Highlanders winning it. 35 points to 33. Will Jordan, Dan Carter, Richie is the goats of the Crusaders, but I don't know. Says Desley, and mine's Michael Jones. Very good choice. Right, Michael Jones. Yeah, so many great players over the years for the Kiwis, of course. And yeah, many more to come in the future. Nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. I think we are almost at the end of this live stream. 35 points to 33. The next live stream that we have got will be tomorrow night, I believe, for the Six Nations. So be sure to stay tuned for that. I believe we actually get to see France versus Ireland as one of the matchups tomorrow. Should be a very entertaining one. But cheers, everyone. Peace. Says Tesla. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for your generosity as well, Tesla. Hugely appreciated. And what was the score for the Crusaders versus Highlanders, please? Highlanders won 35 points to 33 in the end, Greg. So the Highlanders take out the Farmlands Cup, and they have got their first win of the preseason. And thanks, Hamish Greatness. Says Mark. Who's your favourite Super Rugby team? I would probably go Hurricanes just because I like their kit the most. But, you know, I like what the Blues are doing lately. They've got some good ideas in terms of where they're going with those young players scattered into their backline. And whatnot, Colin Mead, says John. And Islanders won it, says Jess. They certainly did. Thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you all for the next one.